Hi everyone, welcome back to Show Me How to Win. We're visiting Origins 2021 and we're at Elk Creek Games booth. Next to me is Brian Suhre. He is the designer of Merchants of the Dark Road. One of the best Euros I play at the convention. I'm really impressed with it. So I want to ask Brian to show everyone how to play and show me how to win. So Brian, what is your inspiration behind the design?
I think it was playing a lot of merchant video games. So I wanted to make a board game with merchants. I had previously made kind of a mechanic here for the market that I had shelled for an older game, and I always wanted to use it again sometime, and I think it fit perfect in a merchant game, being able to manipulate the market and buy and sell goods.
So you were intrigued, you like the theme, and you have a mechanic or rundown mechanic development, you want to just like take it further.
Correct. Yeah, definitely was the market and how to buy things. Yep.
We're going to get to that. All right, so for the audience who don't know how to play, who are not familiar with Merchant Dark Road, this is a game that was kickstarted earlier this year or last year, and it was already kickstarted.
Already kickstarted.
And so tell us how to play briefly.
Sure. Well, we're merchants, and we're going to be traveling around this main city of High Reach. We're going to buy goods at the bazaar. We're going to pick up some of these commissions that want to be delivered to these outlying towns. We're going to sell goods to heroes for money. And then we're going to be able to, at some point in time, make a travel along the roads to these outlying towns where we're going to pick up some prestige. Because in merchants, you want to be both rich and famous, because at the end of the game, whatever's the lower of the two of your money and your prestige will be your score.
So in summary, on your turn, you use the dice, and this is your personal board. You use the dice to basically trigger actions, and then you do an action based on what action you trigger, and then you use that die you bumped to determine your location. So you then go to a location and you do something else. So you actually get to do a lot in a turn. But basically your main goal is to craft items, send people or items to where they want to go, and then to get prestige points. But you also need to make money because it's a balance between the two. So if you only get prestige, no money, not good. If you only have money, no prestige, not good.
Yep. It instantly lets you know what you need to do. If you have a ton of money, you know you need to go and deliver some commissions to pick up some prestige. And it's the other way around. You got too much prestige, you need to start selling those goods to heroes to make some coin.
Money is hidden in this game, right?
It is. It's hidden in your purse. So you kind of see what everybody's at with their prestige, but then you just always second guess. There's no way they have that much money. They're probably not going to be that much, but in the end, this is where you always clean up at the end, and then you get really close. Those numbers get really close together.
I like that. You have to basically kind of pay attention to other people's turn as well. Because in Euros, a lot of times when it's not your turn, you're just like, checking your phone.
Sure. Yeah, in this one, we have kind of a unique step that whenever someone travels to one of these towns, other players are able to follow that player's action. So not only doing your own thing and delivering to your own town, you're able to look where other people are going and maybe pick up contracts or heroes that want to go back to where they're headed, and then you can piggyback on their actions. Yep.
It's like a guild, but we're still frenemies.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's get to the strategy part of the game. What are some of the things that maybe we should do before we even take our first turn? We have different ways to get victory points, and then we get some crown cards to sort of help us determine the direction. So give us some possible ways that you may some possible directions that you may take in this game to sort of determine your strategy.
Sure.
Even before you take your first turn.
Okay. Well, first of all, you're going to look at your deed card. That'll give you a little direction. Those usually are kind of some in-game objectives. But generally, you want to look at your starting hero. So every player has a starting hero that tells them where they want to be returned to. And that's usually going to set you in the right direction of what commission you want to pick up. And that might be the first city that you go to. There's a variety of ways to start. Sometimes it's thinking about, do you want to pick up a lot of goods at first? Or maybe you just want to go for some quick travels, because being able to travel quickly and early, you get some bonuses at the end of that as well. So there's a few ways that you can go. And then there's also thinking about upgraded goods. Do you just want to go and buy a whole bunch of regular basic goods, or you can think about starting this game by picking up the upgraded shiny sides of the goods, which are going to get you more bonuses, going to get you some crystals, and allow you to use these companions. So there are a lot of little paths to start out, but generally getting goods is what you want to get.
Okay, so that's sort of lead into my next question, opening moves. So in some games, depending on when you start on turn order, you may have different strategies. But what about in this game? Is there a general, pretty much like surefire way to take your first turn, or it does vary depending on your strategy?
It does vary. I think your first move, you can actually move anywhere and do something that's going to be different from someone else. But a lot of people will want to stop at the bazaar. It's a great place to buy goods in bulk. Skipping the bazaar means you're going to come over and maybe hit the Ruins of Yin, where you can pick up upgraded goods, which are going to pay off for you later in the long run. Or coming and stopping and picking up a commission first before you get your goods. That way you've locked in your commission and no one else is able to take it, and then pick up those goods later.
Okay, so in the game, the 3 actions you can take on the action board before you even travel are crafting, spinning the wheel, or using your bonus die, right?
Yep.
So what should I do my first move? Crafting, spinning the wheel, or should I use my bonus die right away?
It's your choice, and you can do it either way. A lot of people do like to craft because it's a free good. So you're going to bump in a die, whatever die you bump in, those pips will tell you which item that you craft, and then you know that you're going to turn that free item that you got into either coins or prestige. So crafting is usually a popular action, but at some point in time, you're going to want to use the other dice on the other side because of their movement in the game.
Okay, so let's get into this baby. This is the heart of the game, the wheel, the thing that you wanted to take farther. So this is a market that you can spin, and it changes the value of the goods, and also there's dice on it to help you basically kind of bump how many you can get bonus items for less money, right?
Correct.
So tell me about it. When should we visit it, and what's a good time to spin it? I'm sure there are strategies to that.
Sure, there is. When you go to the bazaar, you're able to spin this wheel 1 space to the right, and that's going to make all the other goods less expensive, and it's going to make 1 good more expensive. And so sometimes when you spin the wheel, you're spinning it because you want to buy goods cheaper, and sometimes you're spinning the wheel because you want 1 good to be more expensive because you're going to sell it later. So sometimes spinning the wheel is a seller's move, sometimes it's a buyer's move. And when you buy, you're able to turn any die you want to whatever face you want. And then when you buy goods, you pay the cost on the outside for the type of goods, not the quantity. So I can buy these 2 instruments for only 2. So buying in bulk, it will help you make more coin or prestige down the road.
Okay, but you can also spin on your board, right? So you could possibly combo and spin it twice.
There is a strategy. One of the owners here of Elf Creek loves to do a double spin, where he does the bump on his wheel, on his own wagon to spin it, and then he visits and spins it again to get the items he wants pretty cheap.
And you also mentioned Ruins of Yin. You can visit Ruins of Yin when you go deliver. And you can either choose to deliver or visit the Ruins of Yin, right? So when should I do that, or when should I deliver?
Well, you want to deliver when your wagon's pretty much full, or you're in a position to where you want to get one of the rewards before someone else. But you want to stop here at the Ruins of Yin to pick up those upgraded goods, because those are going to turn in to being able to pick up these crystals, which are going to be able to get you bonus actions when you gift them to these companions. Because in this game, you're going to pick up a lot of companions, and if you don't have any crystals, you're not going to be able to use those bonus actions. So, and the same thing goes for if you have a lot of crystals and you don't have any companions, you're going to want to go get some companions. So the crystals are very valuable for bonus actions in the game, and those correlate to having upgraded goods.
So would you recommend visiting the Ruins of Yin before I even make the delivery, just to have the crystal available, or should I wait until maybe a little bit later in the game?
I like to go before I travel and try to find a crystal, because as soon as you travel, you get to pick 1 companion to join you on your journey. So as soon as I take this companion, and I have that crystal, I know I can immediately use it and get a bonus.
And we mentioned a bonus die. So these are the orange illuminated dice. What do they do, and when should we use them?
They are rare, and you only get them as a reward for being a caravan leader. So you'll notice that's why you want to also travel.
Well, we start with one.
You start with one, and when you use it, it's gone forever. So you'll have to get them back, and they're very powerful actions because normally in merchants, when you move, you get to spend the one die that you had for the turn to trigger one of the districts. When you use your illuminated die, you get to do both of the districts that you're adjacent to with your wagon, and you get to do the building that is along the road. So you get to almost do 3 actions when using the illuminated die. It's part of the strategy of planning when you play the illuminated die is to get to the right corner that you want so that you can get the building that you want.
Okay, so we play the game for a little bit now, and we're in the middle of the game, and I feel like, it's time to take some risks because I don't think I'm winning. Okay. So what are some of the ways I can catch up?
Some of the quick ways you can catch up is picking up some more of these deed cards, which are kind of in-game bonuses that are going to kind of give you big bonuses for doing things throughout the game. And other ways is when you follow another player on a caravan, you can just hop along in hopes to pick up something good. It's a little bit of a risk, and that's kind of part of that risk that you mentioned. But taking those risks can turn up to be some pretty big turns and getting some things that you didn't think that you normally would have gotten.
Right, because in this game, when someone goes to deliver, even if you have nothing to deliver, you can choose to join in. And because there's these event cards that I think usually half of it is good, and then the other half, like the higher numbers are better and the lower numbers are lower. So are there ways to mitigate dice?
Yes, so traveling with lanterns, what you have up here at the top of your board, will allow you to re-roll and mitigate those travel dice that you'll be drafting and hopefully getting a high die to get something as a reward. Yeah.
So, and there are 2 kinds of events, right? There's one that's free, and then there's one that costs 3 lanterns. That's a lot. And tell me the difference, because one you pick first, and one you pick last, right? If you're the leader. So when should I be taking risks and spending 3 lanterns, which is a lot, to go on that? Is it worth it?
Correct. So taking the dark road is kind of some mild rewards, some mild penalties, and you come out of it as the caravan leader with one of these good fortunes, which allows you to get a bonus that you know you're going to get at the end of that travel. And that's where you can get more of those illuminated dice. It's where you can get more deed cards. It's where you can get wagon upgrades for your wagon. Paying those 3 lanterns and taking that risk of choosing a die last, possibly getting a low number, you're coming out of the shortcut with 2 of these good fortunes, which can be very powerful because I could take 2 illuminated dice, and now I know that those are 2 big actions I'm going to get, and those can be sweeping actions to help me catch back up.
Right. I played this game once in a demo game. Those illuminated dice are really powerful. I guess it's worth the 3 lanterns to just get that.
It is, because sometimes you're picking up lanterns. To get lanterns, you need to be very focused. It's on the middle slot in your wagon. But there are ways to get lanterns in various ways they didn't even expect. So sometimes they just appear, as when you sell to heroes, they bring lanterns. So sometimes they come for free, and so sometimes you just got 3 lanterns and you didn't even know that you were trying for lanterns, right. And now you got a chance at the shortcut.
Right, you got to sell to them anyway to make money. That's one of the ways to make money. So you might as well get some lanterns out of it and take some risk. Do you have any special favorite companions? Because they're really cute. They're like animals, or do you have like a favorite steed, or do you have a favorite hero you want to tell us about?
I do like, so this steed here, this is Rhyme Frost. It has a special ability that allows you to, normally in the game, when you follow the caravan leader, you must follow to one of the 2 cities that they chose in the region. Rhyme Frost is kind of like this bat bear. He allows you to follow to any city. So its power is very powerful, so I can always follow wherever I want. But I really like how it makes the player want to always follow, and it's very hard for that player to want to be the leader, because then I don't have anything when it's my turn because I've always followed. So now I'm not the leader. I'm probably not getting the good fortunes. So it's a really good feel to have this big power but know when to pull back from it and actually focus in and make your delivery on your own. this one here, Brembazant, allows you to buy at the market for 2 less. So everybody's got kind of a little twist on how they're going to manipulate their game.
Okay, so this game is so awesome. When can we get it?
You can probably get this in retail at the probably the first quarter of 2022.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you so much, Brian, for showing me how to play and how to win. And thank you guys for watching. Bye.